Alright everybody, it's Terrence Popp here, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's deadly serious. So I am going to dispense with the Lair thing, and we're going to jump right into it. And what I'm going to talk about here, I pray to God doesn't happen. I hope in a few years I could look back on this, have a couple beers, and laugh it off as a close call. At best or at worst, a minor bad experience. But let's face it, I am not an idiot. I'm a retired first sergeant from the United States Army. I served as a Green Beret, Airborne Ranger, and a paratrooper. I have 3 wars under my belt, and I am a good study of history. And what I see coming around the corner is quite terrifying. And the only way we'll be able to cut back on that terror is if we are properly educated to what that terror is and we are prepared to meet it. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the other side has been preparing for years. They have been putting things in place. They have been causing division and migrating this country into 2 different corners of the boxing ring of reality. And I fear the only way this will be settled, probably civil war. There, I said it. Now, we have seen this before, and we'll probably see it again. But this country, as it stands right now, has never been in a better place to resist this. And I'm going to explain it right here. We in America, we enjoy life between 5 fences of security. And I'm going to explain what those are. You have your city police, you have your county police or sheriffs. Most of the time it's a sheriff. You have the state police. Then you have the federal police, and then you have the military. So what we have here is a bunch of people who have enjoyed a historic amount of prosperity and security. And they have not tasted of hardship. It has basically bred a bunch of idiots. So here you have all these people in the United States living behind 5 fences of security. Then you have the media here, which for years has been piping in a bunch of bullshit to the people living behind the safety of these 5 fences and skewing their perception of reality. Now, I made a whole video about this. I'm going to have Blake put the link in the description. You guys can get educated on this. I'm not going to go into any further detail. But this is basically set the stage for what's going on now. With that being said, the time is almost upon us. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is bullshit. And I will laugh about it down the road if it doesn't come to pass. But let's talk about some historic parallels here. Nazi Germany. 1937, 1938 had a whole bunch of brown shirts wreaking havoc, attacking businesses, attacking the police, attacking anyone who didn't agree with them. And they used shame and blame and guilt to do this as well. Now, basically, these brown shirts caused havoc, and they were supported by the media and part of the current government. Are we seeing a pattern here? And they used the poor economy to basically take over the government and thus that country. Now, these same brown shirts that caused all this havoc, well, once the Nazi Party was in place, guess what happened to the brown shirts and their leadership and most of the more outspoken individuals in that organization? It's called Night of the Long Knives, where they were virtually killed to the last man to secure the Nazi Party as the top dog within that country without any challengers whatsoever. And the only way they were brought down was by a coalition of countries that went against them during World War II, to the tune of millions of dead, millions of people killed in concentration camps.
In the midst of a culture war that's bringing out the ridiculous in everyone, it's never been more important to protect your data. Sandman, the patron saint of MGTOW dreams, wants you to know the best way to do that is with the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your data from the evil prigs in Silicon Valley. You only see ads if you want to, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Download Brave by clicking on the link in the description.
Also, this might be a coincidence. No, it's not. This model that the Nazis used was virtually copied from how the communists came into power shortly towards the end of World War I, just 20 some odd years prior. And just like what happened with the Nazis, the useful idiots were virtually wiped out. Whole generations were starved to the tune of roughly somewhere between 50 and 150 million people. They really can't count the number. All right, and it took basically a century for the world to wake up and realize that that whole thing is fucked up. Guess what's happening here in America? Well, we have a bunch of idiots attacking the police, destroying businesses, attacking citizens, and there are several organizations which are leading the charge in this. One would be Antifa, the other would be Black Lives Matter. And they're using a lot of blame and shame. They're supported by the media and the Democrats, which is virtually an identical blueprint to what happened in Nazi Germany. All right, but I'm just going to say this here. Never before in all of human history has a population had the ability, the tools to resist such an event. One of two things are going to happen if this gets real bad. You're not going to do anything, or you're going to run away. In this country, you can only run so far before you have to leave this country, and guess what? The other countries aren't any better. It's probably best if you resist it now and don't let it take root, because that's what's happening with the chaos that we're seeing in the media. You know, whole cities are about to collapse. When the police leave, you are going to see refugees fleeing that area, because that area is going to turn into a war zone. Now, something similar happened in 1967 and 68 in Detroit. They quashed it then, but Detroit never recovered. When I grew up, there were whole neighborhoods that looked like Beirut. Whole blocks burned down. Guess what? That could be the entire country. And before you know it, the United States will be a third world country in no time flat. If you feel as I do, if you are not an idiot and you could look around you and see what's going on, share this video.